friends. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to do a style that looks kind of like a French braid, but it's a little bit thicker and you can get a lot of good volume. It's really elegant looking. It's sort of like a cross between a French braid and a French twist, but it's kind of cascading down. So anyway, it's a great option for someone who wants something more polished looking, a little more elegant, simple, not a lot of curls, and you don't really have to use much heat. So it's a real plus for people who don't want to damage their hair. So what I've done is I've started out by doing a lot of volume spray through her crown here, and then I also used my crimper, my micro crimper, this one, and I like the Bedhead brand of that. It works really well, and I crimped through here and kind of in through the back of her head a little bit to give some natural volume. And then I've used Kenra, the dry volume burst, and I've sort of sprayed it throughout here just to get a little bit more grip on her hair. So I started out by pulling the front of her hair back, and I just did a simple twist and I pinned that in. And then I'm going to be working back and forth every other side as I go. So I'm going to start with her thicker side, which is this one, and I'm taking about a 1-inch section from the front of her hair and pulling it back. And all I'm going to do with this front piece is I'm going to softly twist it. So I'm twisting it towards me, and then I'm going to put my fingers underneath the twist and roll it in. So I'm rolling it inward, sort of like you would do a French twist, and I'm gonna pin inside the roll. So I'll slide a pin up toward the front of her head and pin inside like that. And you might need more than one pin depending on how thick her hair is. And you can cross them underneath for extra hold. So I've crisscrossed them underneath. And then I'm just gonna loosen it just slightly by pulling it out. And by using that texture spray when I started, that's what's gonna give this enough grip to be able to pull that and make it loose. Now I'm going to follow and do that on the other side. So I'm taking a 1-inch section from the front of her face, and I'm going to gently twist the hair back, and I'm going to twist it in like I would a French twist. So that means I'm taking 2 fingers and rolling it in like that. So 2 fingers rolling it in, and I'm pinning it inside the curl here so you don't see it. Pin upwards and in. Now what you want is for these 2 sides to connect. So if there's a gap right here, what you want to do then is take your pin and go inside the curl and connect it. So what I'm doing is taking a little bit of the hair with my pin and gripping it and pulling it inward. And then I can go ahead and pull this one out a little bit like I did that side to create some texture. All right, now this is the section where we're going to start going back and forth, back and forth. So I'll start with this side and pull a 1-inch section of hair. So I'm taking all the hair from here all the way back to the middle here, not just a front chunk, but all of it. And I'm going to take my comb and back comb just slightly underneath it, and that will just give it a little bit of grip. And then you can softly comb it towards yourself, towards the center here. And I'm doing the same thing that I did up here. I'm going to roll it like a French twist and roll it under like this. 2 fingers hold it there, and I'm going to pin it in. So I'm bringing this roll a little bit past my first roll up here. So instead of bringing it to the center, I'm bringing it a little bit farther over. I'm doing 2 pins in here as well, just crossing them in. Now there's a little bit of a gap right here. And what I'm going to do is take this side, so the same way that I did on this side, I'm grabbing it from this side about 1 inch and pulling it all the way back. I'm going to back comb a little bit like I did with the other side, smooth it through, and then I'm going to take this section of hair and pull it through the gap that's at the top. So you can pull your fingers up and pull it through. And then take your pins and pin inside the curl here. So I'll do a couple on the top and then go through and pin inside. So this way I've created sort of a loop here inside of each other. Now I'm going to do the same thing starting on this side. So now I'll take this side and back home a little bit, and I'm going to roll this side now past the midpoint. So I'm bringing it farther over, and rolling it under like a French twist and doing 2 pins inside. This style would be difficult to do with someone who has super thick hair. You'd have to take a lot smaller sections and then it would have a different sort of look. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the remaining hair on this side and I'm going to pull it through this gap. So I'll pull my fingers up here. Pull it through. And I'm going to pin inside again. So all your pins are hidden underneath the other hair that you've rolled. So you can use as many pins as you need to make it secure. And then for the bottom, you can take 2 strands and do a twist like this. And then you can roll it up and pin it that way. You could do a braid and pin it. You could just do a simple chignon where you're taking all of the hair and rolling it like this and pinning it in this way, whatever you desire. But that's the basic look, and you can get a nice sort of styled, twisted, just a little bit different updo than you would normally with curls. That's all I have for you.